with Len Goodman, by the way. Now, there are fears that a serial cat killer could be on the loose in a Somerset village, apparently poisoning the pets with antifreeze. Emma Guy's cat Marbles died from kidney failure earlier this year. It was caused by a chemical commonly found in antifreeze. Devastated by the death of her beloved Marbles, Emma went knocking on doors in the village of Stuggersey, nestling in the Quantock Hills, to try to get to the bottom of what happened to her precious pet. She says neighbours have told her that over 30 cats have died after showing similar symptoms. Apparently, an additional 19 cats died from antifreeze poisoning in nearby Bridgewater 2 years ago. We're going to hear from an expert from the RSPCA on this in a moment, but first we speak to Emma herself, the owner of Marbles, in our Taunton studio. Good afternoon.
Hello.
So she ate something in the garden, did she? Or he, I should say.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how he got hold of it, but there's no evidence left anywhere, so I would suggest that he is hiding it in food. It tastes sweet, so it could easily be hidden, or, you know, they could put it on the backs of the animals themselves and lick it off, and there's no evidence left again.
And you found your cat, came in from the garden, and what was the first thing you noticed, Emma?
He was very shruggish in the shoulders, he wasn't holding his head up right, and he went and stood in front of the water bowl and took a while to drink. He spent a lot of the time in front of it not drinking. He went off his food and started sleeping quite a lot. Took him to the vets actually before the sleeping thing straight away as soon as I noticed it. They gave him an antibiotics injection thinking he had a virus of some kind, and he just slept for days and days, me thinking he was getting better. And for a moment he appeared to be getting better. He started eating again and walking around, and then all of a sudden it was like he just crashed and he started meowing, screaming in pain. It was awful, and he couldn't walk, his legs went, he couldn't even get up. It was just, it's terrible.
Terrible, and you had to then take him to the vet?
Yeah, he died the next morning.
And when did you start thinking this might have been a deliberate act by somebody, Emma?
Well, my next door neighbour's cat showed symptoms, and I didn't actually know too much about all this at the time, but somebody had mentioned to me that it could have been a poisoning because there had been one or two in the village before. So we took that cat to the vet, and its eyes and everything, it was having seizures, and it was really painful to watch, really, and that died. It was quite a young cat, it was less than a year old, so it didn't last long fighting it at all. And I started knocking on people's doors, and the more doors I knocked on, there's one house, even 4 cats had died in the same house. There's a few with 3 cats. It's just extortionate.
So you got a lab involved?
I did. I phoned up the RSPCA. They sent Marbles off to have him tested, and it came back with ethylene glycol poisoning, which is found in antifreeze.
Oh, so there's absolutely no doubt about it?
Absolutely no doubt at all.
So you think that something was put into a bit of cat food and put in the garden?
I would imagine it'd be biscuits, because it's probably the easiest thing to soak up the liquid.
And they wouldn't need that much of it to cause them all that damage?
It's it's about a teaspoon or just under.
Really?
Is enough to kill 1 cat.
Right.
And that could, you know, a big cat.
Right. And then you began to knock on doors?
Yes, I wanted to find out how many other poor animals had suffered the same fate.
So what did you find?
Well, I've got noted here on paper 31 deaths in different people's houses around the village, and about 4 were showing symptoms of illness before they went missing, so that's about 35.
And do you think all those 35 might have been killed by poisoning?
A lot of the owners of these cats did take, you know, their pets to the vets, and they were all pretty much found with well, kidney failure, so that's, you know, they didn't go for the actual proper testing because they were too distraught with it, but the vets have all confirmed that they actually think it is antifreeze poisoning that did it all.
And we then have the other 19 cats who died in nearby Bridgewater?
Yes.
Which could be involved as well? We
have no idea. Possibly. It could be.
Well, it's a very cruel person, if it is a person.
I think it's terrible. I mean, I don't understand how anyone could do that to anything, really.
How long have they been operating for, do you think?
Do you know what? I had some more information come through this morning, funny enough, going back about 15 years, 2002, 2005, 6. It looks like he moved there, started off slowly to make sure he wasn't get caught, and now he's got confident because he's taken most of the lives in the last 2 to 3 years, especially this year. There was a death last Friday. 6 weeks before that, my Marbles was actually killed a couple of months ago. There was 3 weeks before that, another cat had been poisoned, and the lady that paid the vet bill, that was over £1,000.
I'm sensing you really miss your cat.
I really do miss him. I think about him every day.
And he was in good shape until this happened.
He was a very, very fit, very clever, very funny cat. He was beautiful.
Well, sorry to hear the story, Emma. Thank you for telling us about it.
Oh, no worries.
Emma Guy, cat owner in Taunton. Kerry Westwood is scientific officer with the RSPCA. Have you been notified about these deaths?
Hello, Jeremy. At the moment, we're currently only aware of the one case. Unfortunately, we're unable to investigate if we're not made aware of such cases, so we really would urge the general public to come forward and contact us if they are at all concerned that anything like this has happened.
Well, it sounds as if Emma's only just begun putting the jigsaw together here.
Yes, as I say, it's really important that everybody contacts us if they are concerned that this has happened, because if we're not made aware of it, unfortunately, we can't take anything forward.
Can you recommend anything for cat owners?
We would ask them to look out for signs of antifreeze poisoning. It's really important that if their cat shows any of signs such as vomiting, seeming depressed or sleepy, if they appear drunk or uncoordinated or are having fits, or if they're having difficulty breathing or even simply drinking more or urinating more, it's really important that they take their cat to the vet. The sooner that the cat receives proper veterinary treatment, then the better the outlook for the cat.
And you talked about the symptoms of antifreeze poisoning as if it is something you've come across before.
Each year, the RSPCA is made aware of tragic incidences where cats are sadly believed to have died from ingesting antifreeze, and both us and the Feline Advisory Bureau are deeply concerned and saddened about it.
Why is it used? I mean, it's obviously a very effective poison for a cat, but is it that they like the taste of it, or what? It seems an odd thing to choose.
Well, the thing is that cats find the taste of antifreeze very attractive, and even ingesting the smallest amounts unfortunately can lead to their death. But antifreeze poisoning can also happen by accident. They can come into contact with it in many different ways, from accidental spills to water coolant leaking from car radiators, and also from improper storage and disposal. So we'd ask the general public to take extra care to make sure that water coolant isn't leaking from their car radiators, and also to make sure that they use, store and dispose of antifreeze responsibly, and you can find information about this on the RSPCA website.
And if this person has killed 30 cats in one small area, that is going to be quite a bit of detective work for you, isn't it? And presumably they might be listening to this item or watching it on the news and thinking, well, I'm going to stop now because things are getting a bit too hot. So how on earth do you go about investigating this, Kerry?
It's really important that people come forward and contact us about it. The public are our eyes and ears, and at the end of the day, we need them to tell us that these things are happening so that we can actually investigate them.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank
Kerry
you.
Westwood, scientific officer with the RSPCA. Disturbing story. Based in Sturgisley, which nestles in the Quantock Hills.